Hi guys, so today I was thinking, what should I do for a video? And then I thought, why not reminisce on my young teen years, right? Good times. So today I decided to do the Twilight Tag, because as many of other young teens, I'm sure, I was obsessed with Twilight. I read every single book, I think at least twice, and I watched every single movie every single week. Like, I knew the lines. I would say the lines before the character said it. I cried after every movie and I just wanted the next one to come out, and so we're gonna see how much I remember and how much really affected me. So here we go. Which book in the series is your favorite? Honestly, Breaking Dawn. I think Breaking Dawn, just because the way everything was described was so in detail, like with the baby and how she was so beautiful, her eyes and everything. It made her seem like this like apple cinnamon fall baby, and I was just like, oh, baby. That was my favorite, I guess. How long did it take you to read the books? The first book, it took me a little while because I didn't know what Twilight was. I was like one of the first people to read it, and I was like, what is this? Like, not so much into like vampires and like Harry Potter, stuff like that, so I was unsure about it. The first book took me about 2 months, and then after that, after the book, I got hooked, and then I read the next one, and each book that I read got shorter and shorter. The last book, I think it took me 10 days. I didn't put the book down, honestly, and those books are huge. I'm sorry, I know everybody's like, oh, Twilight, but those books are like 700 pages, so just saying. What's your dream ending to the series? Honestly, I was a little creeped out that Jacob and Bella's daughter were in a relationship. I was kind of confused because in a werewolf relationship, how he's like has an imprint on her, but on the other hand, it's a little weird because she's technically 1, but she looks 11, but she's like 1 year old and like the mind of like a 30-year-old, but it's a little weird that Jacob, like, oh, this is my, like, wife. I don't know, the whole imprinting thing was just too weird for me, and I just did not like that Jacob was, like, gonna marry her. I don't even know. I don't really remember what happened. I just remember that he's like, she's my Nessie, you know, I'm imprinted on her, I can't get separated from her. Like, that's a little bit weird. I mean, because he was like, oh my gosh, Bella, I love you, and then he's like, I love your daughter. Who is your favorite vampire? I can't remember her name. Love it. Rosalie? Rose? I think they called her Rose. Oh my god. I clearly don't remember my favorite character, but I did like her. Who was your favorite werewolf? I mean, I was really into Jacob, but then I'm like, as my 13-year-old self, Jacob's a bit too old for me, so then I was like falling in love with the younger character, Seth, the younger werewolf. Yeah, Seth. Whew. He is gorgeous, and I just thought all the werewolves were gorgeous because they have like that tanness, that rustic body, those dark eyes, dark hair. They all look like tail honor to me, so I mean, I was just like, yes. What's one of your favorite quotes from the stories? My favorite quote is actually my favorite poem, which is by Robert Frost, and it is called Fire and Ice, and that is when Bella and Edward are in the field, and she's like reciting the poem. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice, but from what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if I had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that ice is also great and would suffice. Girl, my favorite poem, Robert Frost. Yeah. Robert Frost, shout out to you, because that was a great poem. They're in the meadow, and she's like, oh, I have to study for this. I'm like, girl, that's the easiest poem. Come on, girl, come on. But that's my favorite line. What was your favorite Bella-Edward moment? When they get married. Oh, when they get married. So pretty. So pretty. Or when she's like having the baby and she's like all anorexic because the baby's like eating her and he's just like staring at her. That's like so sad. That's a sad moment. Sad. Which book cover was your favorite? See, that's a little conflicting because the very first Twilight book actually, it didn't have Bella and Edward on it, but they were characters that looked like Bella and Edward. I mean, I guess I like the original, but then all the covers changed, and then there was like the apple, and then there was like the checkerboard. I really liked the apple just because it felt more like that red color made it seem more like vampire. Who did you want to see Bella with the most, Edward or Jacob? Oh, girl. See, the thing is that Edward is smart and he's like so poetic and he can play the piano beautifully. Like every time he played the piano, I was just like, keep playing. Like I could listen to him play for like hours. I really think that Edward was the best choice for Bella. But I was always like, I'll take Jacob off your hands, girl. Okay, I loved Jacob since the moment that he starred in that movie that was, he was like 11. It was that movie about that kid who had dreams and then he like went into his dream world with like Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I think that's the name. But he was like that shark and he did like a split and he was like all dancing and he was like scratching everything and I was like, who is this boy? I thought he was like my age, and when I discovered that he was old, I was like, okay. Are you excited? Yeah! I don't know why that's a question, but... Which book did you like Bella's character best? I liked her in the first book, just because she was so awkward. She's like, She was in class and she was staring at Edward. He was staring at her and she was just like, and he would like talk to her in like this sweet, elegant voice. And she was just like she was just, she was just so weird in the first movie, but I loved it. Which book do you like Jacob's character the best? Obvi New Moon, because literally he's in the whole book. I mean, it talks about Jacob and the werewolves in the entire book, so obvi that one. And when they get married, he's all like, I can't believe you're marrying him, like, I hate you. Well, he didn't say that, but he kind of meant it. But it was like, you couldn't have seen this coming. Like, I mean, she kinda, like, she had been with Edward for a while. All of her high school career, she was with Edward. I mean, you couldn't see that coming? Like, she's been preparing herself for that, okay? Okay. Love you, Jacob, though. Love you. Takeaway from this Twilight Tag. Twilight was a good series. I mean, it was a good time. You know, I'm considering watching the movies again just to feel the love again. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked my reminiscing on my 13-year-old years. Please subscribe and comment, and if you want me to do any more tags, let me know. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next Monday. Bye! I'm just saying though, in that movie, there's a lot of shirtless men. A lot of shirtless men. Oh my god!